What's going on, everybody? Technical difficulties prevented us from starting at 6, so I hope y'all are still down for what's going on, what's going to be happening today. I got a couple of things I want to cover. Everything that's streamed on Facebook and everything else, y'all can still go to youtube.com and type in the davidbradleyshow.com. Links, everything, it'll take you to YouTube, and you can watch it here on Facebook too. It's good stuff. All right, what we got coming up? Everybody's talking about the hurricane and the people over there in Asheville and the Carolinas and everything. December 7th, A Blaze Entertainment and Paul Ann is putting on a benefit for the hurricane victims of Hurricane Helena. I think that's how that's said. Yeah, but anyway, Hurricane Helena. We're doing a big show out there, and you're going to have at the Troubadour, 2416 Music Valley Drive, right out there by Opryland Hotel. It's right there. You can't miss it. But we're going to throw a big show. It's a benefit. You're going to have Bailey Marie, Kirby, Ryan O'Neill, Melody Guy, Alexa Marrero, Craig Moritz, and J. Mike Harder. And you're going to have Ivanka Lexi. I hope I'm saying that correctly, or I'll have somebody telling me I need to redo that. But anyway, we're going to have a special guest, Jamie Rowe, and Brandon Reed Allen is going to be there also. Hopefully, there are going to be some more guests that are going to be there. Hopefully, some artists that are hanging out, maybe doing some meet and greets, making donations. People can make donations. You can, if I'm understanding correctly, we are going to have a auction. I think it's going to be online. It might be like a silent auction. I'm not sure. I will get more details on that, and I'll cover that with y'all. But you can get the tickets for the event at Eventbrite. And all the information and everything you need on this, just go to ablazeentertainment.net. All the info's there. Y'all check it out. Help out these people. This is not a week or 2 week. This is going to be an ongoing thing. And remember, Christmas is just around the corner. That's why they have labeled this whole event Christmas for a Cause. So y'all help these people over there. And for everything that everybody's done already, we really appreciate it, because there's nothing more important in this world than people helping people. And I think we need to do more of it. Anyway, so on with the show. I've got a really good guest. This dude is global, all over. I love some of his songs. They are just awesome as all get out. And the one that he just put out not too long ago is about the military and soldiers and stuff. I love that. We're going to get him on. We're going to cover a bunch of that stuff. So everybody say howdy to Ty Warner, please. Ty, how you doing, buddy?
Good evening, David. And I just want to say thank you so much for your spreading the word about how we need to help each other, and the whole Asheville tragedy and what went on there. And we all, I believe, I can only speak for myself, that we all get so siloed that we forget what else is going on in this world, and that people like you that are partnering with other agencies to ensure. In fact, you just inspired me to have a fundraiser here, which we're going to do in some capacity. My spouse talks about the people that the thing that I worry the most about is the animals, the dog, right. The cats, the resiliency of the human nature is going to make its way through. But those sheltered, those animals that have no shelter now, I mean, that's the real challenge for me. So there you go. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's if you look at the video and you look at the footage, you've got land eroded away, you've got trees falling, you've got all kinds of stuff, and these are all elements of what forest creatures live in.
Yep. Yep. Totally.
Burrows, living in the trees. It's
Yep.
I seen a video the other day of a black bear crossing a stream, and I'm like,
yeah,
it doesn't matter who you are. Animals have a home.
Yeah.
They make it, create it, or it's naturally there.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree with it. It's devastating. In fact, words can't describe it. I'm not in it, but it's just a community. It's just a social cause / awareness that you brought to the community that probably was a little bit on the back burner. So yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm an older fella, so I remember back in the day, if you seen somebody with a flat tire on the side of the road,
yeah,
there'd usually be 2 or 3 people stop to help.
Yeah.
And get them back on the way. Now it's people just keep driving by.
Well, Daniel Collins told me you were still a kid, so I don't know where that age thing is coming from. So
yeah, I'm probably older than you. What are you talking about?
You're still a kid, man. You're still a kid. Look at the vibrancy of what you're doing online. Your amazing team. You've got Michelle, Caitlin, Julie. You've got this great team you put together, and you're just trying to crush it and communicate and make everybody's day a little bit better.
Yeah, I just I love helping out because I've been in the music industry for 40 years doing basically the production work, lights and sound, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And over those 40 years, I've seen really great and really talented people get taken advantage of, and they get so disparaged by it that they just pull out, they quit music.
Yeah.
And I'm that guy that, hey, wait a minute, what happened to those songs?
Yeah.
Why didn't we get those songs out before you quit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that one song that somebody has quit the music industry and they've thrown their songs in the back of a closet somewhere.
Yeah.
One of those songs could have helped somebody.
Yeah.
Could have made the biggest difference in somebody's life.
So that brings up something that we're morphing into about the music industry and those 8 notes, right? And then the notes in between those 8 notes. And part of my doctrine is, my platform is, when words fail, music speaks. And that's really the way it is. Yeah. Totally get it. Totally empathize with exactly what you're saying. Yeah. So true.
Yeah. I mean, it's, well, and you have to forgive me, what you called that, the name of that song, the title. I knew it was about military and everything.
Yeah.
And I actually put it up.
Okay.
I'm
cool.
old. I'm old. I got to look over my glasses here.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am a veteran is the cut.
Yes, I am a veteran.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I think songs like that help out so much with the whole veteran community.
Correct. Yep.
No, I've got actually we might have to talk, because I've got a veteran song in my head that I would love to get out there.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Bring in some other people.
Well, I'm an only child, so I was not allowed to be in the military.
Okay.
Mama wouldn't have it.
Yeah, I get you, man. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of films about those kind of things. I think Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
That movie about the 5 brothers, and that happened. That has happened. So yeah. And you did the right thing. So.
But I support every chance I get, because
yeah,
we wouldn't be where we're at today if it wasn't for the soldiers. and the people that would stand up and do what was needed to be done.
See, that is exactly, this is a great, and for everybody that doesn't know, that's tuning in, uh, that doesn't know about Mr. Bradley and his magnificent team here, he talks about sweet tea and just conversation and stuff. And yeah, so I'm a veteran. That song really, that the I'm a veteran, right? And I spent a career wearing the uniform, and then I spent another career as a member of the United States Air Force as a civilian.
Right.
When I was wearing the uniform, the thing about today, being a veteran for me, for us, is that there is so much social dialogue going on right now
Right.
in our nation, and we collectively were able to defend these United States so that that kind of dialogue can indeed go on, whether you agree with it or not.
Right.
Right? That's my bottom line. That's how I see it. Right? Is that I'm honored that I was able to do that so that everybody can have this kind of dialogue, because there are countries where if we did what was going on with the discourse today, it would be a different outcome for the participants.
Oh
That's
yeah.
that's how I'm trying to say it diplomatically, and so yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, because there's some people that that discourse and
Mhm.
that does not need to happen, and it will be stopped.
Right, right, and so our nation allows it, and this is the nation that will allow that due to as a result of the veterans defending these United States of America, and that's where we are. It's a
That's
great
why
thing.
that's why I always like, because I've been in several altercations in a, let's see, how can I put this, where two people cannot agree on anything
Yeah,
without going to fisticuffs.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's old school terminology for fighting and beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah, I'm sure people know what that means, dude. Trust me.
You'd
Yeah,
be surprised. Some people don't know terminology like that.
yeah,
Uh,
cool.
but that's where that saying come from. We'll agree to disagree.
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
And
This
you
is
just go on.
Yeah, and this is the nation that we can do that in. So
Yep.
it's great.
And I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, me too. Me too. And my beautiful wife, she spent a civilian career supporting the Air Forces, working as an Air Force civilian too. And so, just deviating off the flight path, that the spouse really sometimes has the toughest, most difficult job
Yeah.
in the military, because here we go, we call it TDY, right? Temporary duty, and off we go, and we're getting per diem and a hotel room and all this kind of stuff, and
Oh
and
yeah.
the spouse is back taking care of the children, trying to mow the lawn, being a mother and a father or whatever. So anyways, yeah, kudos to the spouses as well. But this day that we're coming up on is to honor our veterans of this great nation we are. Yeah.
Yep. I totally agree.
Yep.
I've got a lot of veteran friends. Um, One has been my best friend for more than 40 years,
Yeah.
and uh, just normal everyday people that took an
Yeah.
oath.
Yeah. 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 The That's what did you do? You take an oath, and that oath. And I'm just, what do I know, right? I'm a guitar player and a piano player and a singer. What do I know? But
Yeah.
that's that line I loved out of when we were in Germany when 9/11 happened, right? And then Alan Jackson came up with "Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning," right? And then he said, "I'm
Yeah.
just a singer of simple songs. I'm not a political man." Yeah, that's
Yeah.
me. That's me. So
That's one thing I could, I love Toby Keith when he first come out and everything else, but when he started doing all the things and showing the support for the military and the veterans and everything else, my level of respect went so high for that man.
right, right. The standard. And when I go to the USOs, right, and I'm waiting around to catch a flight, and there's always somebody's got a picture of Toby Keith up there of what he did. And our daughter, uh, now we're treading into another lane, and that's the military dependents, the children, right?
Right.
So the children, um, our daughter and her friend went to see Toby Keith and his guitar player, and I loved his guitar player. By the way, I thought
Yeah.
that guy was a drop dead incredible utility instrumentalist, and they went to did an acoustic show, somewhere up in Belgium, because we were living in Germany at
Yeah.
Spangdahlem base, and yeah, he really set the tone for what it should be. Yeah, and so that's what we're trying to do on a much lower level, is just bring awareness to what our veterans deserve. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, a lot of people out there, they don't remember the old movies and stuff like that. But during World War II, there was a lot of movies that come out
Yeah.
showing the USO and what the ladies did over there. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, being on a USO tour back
Yeah.
then was a big thing.
It's huge. It's a huge gatekeeper and opportunity. And I know that when we were in Germany, it was the thing to do. A band would come over. Kid Rock came over and then I was injured. I was at Incirlik Air Base, uh,
Hmm.
2008 to 2010, and Kid Rock and his band came over, and um, along with a couple of other artists. And then in Germany, there were Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders and another lot of great bands and stuff. Blues Traveler. So yeah, and everybody that's the only game in town over there, right?
Yeah.
So everybody's going to go to that show, and it was just a refreshing opportunity to see some talent and what they're doing. And here in Cheyenne, I'm affiliated with F.E. Warren Air Force Base, and they have Freedom Fest on July 4th. And we just had Trace Adkins here, and he does a lot. A lot of people do a lot of things. So
Oh
uh,
yeah.
it's just and segueing into what's going to happen here. I don't know whether Daniel has talked to you about this Salute to Service show that we're going to have uh, July 4th on Veterans Day at Skydeck Bar in Nashville, Tennessee. And
No, he isn't. I'll have to get with him on that.
I'll send you all the data. He's kind of OBE. He's kind of, I call it overcome by events, with everything he's trying to do as the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, trying to make it all happen. Guy's a beautiful guy, his family and everything. But I'll send you. I'll clear it with him, and we'll get you all that data so we can really push that thing. Huge artists are going to be there. Headliners. The Air Force Academy Wild Blue Country Band is going to be there, and our song is going to debut with them. And this is all thanks to Daniel. And I'm in Cheyenne, Wyoming. That's where I sit tonight in beautiful high country, 6,200 feet, 60,000 people in this town, and that's where I'm coming to. Yeah,
I've been through Cheyenne a lot.
Yeah, you said your story says you're a truck driver.
Yep, I was back in the day. I was that's my day job. I'm driving a yard shifter now, but I used to be over the road. I used to go from Nashville to California to New Jersey to California. I mean, I was running everywhere.
I love it. Yeah. So I-80 and I-25 intersect here.
Mm-hmm.
And so you know it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great little community, except for the wind sometimes. But
it's beautiful up there, unless, like you said, the wind hits.
The wind hits, yeah. That's when the disconnect for us comes, is that you come here and everything's 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
And where you live and I go down there, it's 10 minutes just to cross the street. I mean, it's out of control. It's out of control, So
it's crazy.
Yeah, but I'll send you those details. That's going to be an incredible show. It kicks off at 12 p.m. The parade's 11 to 12. You know the parade up wherever it is, Broadway, and then we're going to the Skydeck Lounge. We're going to have entertainment from all the Wall of Fame artists, because I'm fortunate enough to be connected with an organization called Wall of Fame Entertainment that Daniel is the president of.
Right.
And it's a talent agency, and you have United Talent Agency and you have Romeo Entertainment. And, we're just a little engine that could to try to believe in ourselves and try to get to a level of being a talent company to assist artists. That's kind of how it works too. So that's what I do with them, and that's how this all came about. And meeting you and I'm a big believer in gatekeepers, and I'm a big believer in always being loyal to those that have opened doors for someone, for me, and
Oh,
meeting a guy
definitely.
like you, which is great, in your team. So, anyways, yeah,
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 it's
yeah. Daniel's
I
Daniel's just
I never honestly thought that this show. I never thought anybody'd watch it,
it's
and
amazing,
now it's just
it's
like,
amazing.
1 minute it's just me doing everything, and then I've got Julie come on to
Yeah,
help me keep everything straight.
yeah,
And then it got to
hmm
where I couldn't do all the equipment and everything by myself, so I had to get you know Caitlin come on board as the producer, and
yeah,
then everything just keeps growing. And then I've got Michelle that's doing PR for the show. I've got
yeah.
another great lady, Brooke Smith. She's down in
Mhm.
Florida. She's handling a lot of the social media stuff for me now, and it just keeps growing and growing, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Yeah, it does. That's the part of the industry that people don't realize. Now, a real in my career, right? So I'll talk about this is all free flow, which I really love. Is the military has this term called mentor, to be a mentor.
Right.
And the mentor, I'm a firm believer that you start running into so many people that are, can everybody be a mentor? And I think some people really more than mentors are coaches. And
Hmm.
I still have a lot of coaches in my life that I lean towards for guidance, wisdom, right, knowledge, all those different concepts, right? So, but there's one guy that you're almost a spitting image of the guy, and his name is Tommy Barnes. And Tommy Barnes, I met at the Commodore Grill when I was doing one in the infancy of my Nashville journey at the Commodore Grill. And Tommy wrote Indian Outlaw for Tim McGraw.
Right.
And he's a country boy. He country from Mississippi. If I showed a picture, if you looked at a picture of Tommy Barnes and you, it's almost identical in your mannerisms, and yeah, he just he talks about just uh, coaching it and getting it across the finish line and the music and who you're going to meet. And yeah, he's an Air Force guy. I think that's how we hit it on. It is because he's an Air Force guy too. He only spent 4 years, but he he's just an amazing artist and an incredible pure country writer. He wrote a big hit for uh, uh, Brady Seals, I believe is his name.
Yeah.
From it escapes me the name, but we can look it up real quick. But yeah, he's had a couple of heavy hitters, and I mean, we're sitting in the car and he's talking about how I at one point he said, "Yeah, I sold 14 million copies at Indian Outlaw, but only got paid for 10 million." Oh, I'm sorry, Tommy. I mean, yeah, 10. So, anyways, yeah,
Yeah.
he's just quite a guy. And then they always have the oh, but what I was getting back to Tommy is that there's in he told me where there was an era, and I'm sure you know this era where you could sign a record deal on a napkin at Shoney's.
Yeah.
And today, somebody like me is an indie artist. That's why we're similar in that I have certain people that I work with that help me with things, right? Because
Right.
otherwise, if you're just a pure indie artist, if you're and generally the definition of indie is someone's just not signed to a label, but it's taken on its own definition of what indie is, right? But
Right.
you've got to be the writer, the rehearsal, the guitar, the piano, recording, media. It's almost as if, and one of my dear people said her name is Olivia Francis, and I work very closely with her. She's the vocalist in a lot of our songs. She said she learned from somebody that 90% of this industry is business. What do you think about that?
It's sad.
Yeah, well, it's a hustle, you know.
It's a hustle. But the bad part about that, when you have a certain percentage that is nothing but a business side to what we create, what artists create, you've
Yeah,
also got about the same amount of people out there
yeah,
that just want to grab your money and run and don't care.
yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. And
And
just
that was
trying to, yeah,
that's one of the reasons why I started this podcast,
yeah.
because
Well,
I
you've got a tremendous pedigree. You're a CMA member. That's huge. That's
right.
huge. You know,
It's
I
well,
mean,
when I went to be a CMA member, they did not have a category for podcasters at all.
yeah,
And after talking to people out there, and 3 or 4 months went by, and they opened up a category and added podcasting to that category, to where podcasters like me that are not affiliated with a radio station or
yeah,
anything can actually be a
yeah.
CMA member.
It's
Some people,
amazing.
well, some people say
It's an
open
amazing
doors.
story.
So I just didn't like it
Yeah,
because
you
somebody
did.
said they didn't have a spot for me.
Yeah, yeah. I get you. I totally get it. Yeah, you believed in it and you're doing it, and yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just, and $20,000 later, I've got equipment and everything here at the house, and in the home studio.
yeah,
I can do Rogan and Howard Stern level stuff.
yeah. And good for you. And good that you're good that you're giving other people. I call it the third floor of the Titanic, right? That's where I
Right.
sit. Maybe I'm near the second floor. I don't know, but yeah. So you're giving people like us an opportunity to try to break that glass ceiling or whatever you want to call it, to get to the next step and to get to the next level. And I'm a firm believer that, and I just stumbled on this, but I'm a firm believer that what's going to get an artist to a certain level is what is going to separate them from the pack, and that is what's going to make you different, right? And I just
Yeah.
kind of stumbled on this with this guy that I work with, and that what I'm doing, I'm sort of a cause song guy.
Right.
That's kind of what because I've got a song. What happened to me, my journey to Nashville started when I was on stage with a vocalist who was from actually near Clarksville, Tennessee, and
Uh-huh.
her name was Robin Muniz, and her husband took her life on stage with me, and that's where that whole thing started in Cheyenne, and it was a global story,
Yeah.
and then so he took her life, and then he went in and then he took his life, and he left children behind. So I was initially thrust into peripherally being a proponent of the awareness and prevention of domestic violence. And I'm talking like, if you see this guitar here, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see the tip of
Yeah.
that guitar. Yeah, that I mean, she was that close to me. The bullet just went by and boom. So one shot, and um, I wrote a song about it, and it came pretty easy to me. And then I came to Nashville and started pitching that song around, and then I realized that everybody was saying, "Well, Nashville likes happy songs. They don't want to hear anything like that." And so, okay, so then I said, "Well, I'll move around a different way." But I remember, so I started that one, and then a couple of years ago, another Air Force friend of mine, he came up with this song, and it was the most and it's out there. I think you liked the link to it. I think I saw, called "No One Answers,"
Yeah.
and that is a song about suicide resiliency. So here's a song about suicide resiliency,
Right.
because that was a beautifully put together piece of work, because the individual that wrote it was an Air Force guy out of Chicago, Ronnie Merritt, Kid Ronnie. And so
Mhm.
we wrote that, and then we wrote the music, and then we had the song produced by a guy in Cheyenne who uh, is a military dependent whose brother took his life.
Yeah.
So there, then that thing came together. So we had the domestic violence, and then we had the the suicide resiliency cut, and then then the next thing that came along was my beautiful sister. Uh, she lost her husband unexpectedly, and she said to me, "Would you write a song about Steve?" And so that's where "This Is Not Goodbye" came. So we had that cut, which is just a beautiful ballad about that this is not goodbye. You're going to see somebody again. And now we're on to the veteran cut. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's just kind of how it's the role that kind of serendipitously I guess I'm not I guess that I'm following, by
Yeah.
just doing what I'm doing. Just like you said, you started out driving a truck and doing your thing, and you start off with probably a little microphone, a little plug-in, and whatever. Now you got 20K,
Yeah.
tax deductible, I'm sure. But anyways, you know,
Uh,
what do I know? But
it's whatever the CPA says it is.
oh, I love you too. Yeah, exactly. No, what I can't deduct question mark. So
Yeah.
anyways, what do I know? But anyways, yeah.
And I asked
So anyways,
stupid,
that's kind of
why can I not
yeah.
deduct?
Exactly. Yeah. That was the yeah. Well, like you said, we'll stay away from some things because they're just too
Yeah.
funny. And anyways, but yeah, and so that's kind of how it came. For this lane, and this veteran song that is in the hopper that started with a poem from a fella that is another veteran of mine and another veteran that worked in FE Warren Air Force Base. What we say is that the civilians in the military are the continuity because the military is always moving and shaking and leaving every 3 years or whatever,
Right.
and the civilians are behind for the continuity of the programs that they run. So, but he's a poet of sorts, I guess. Kind of quiet about it, but he wrote a poem about the red, white, and blue. And he
Right.
gave it to me, and I said, "Wow, this is kind of neat. Uh, let's try to put that together," and that's where it came from. So, anyways, yeah,
I love it. Yeah.
thank you
And
so much. Yeah,
I feel like if it's hitting you in the back of the head and it's leading you in a certain direction, then there's a reason behind it. So that's what you need to be doing.
yeah, and I just feel like that's just here's a crazier story for you. The funniest story about trust not in your own judgment, right? And
Right.
so the other song, this is not good. This is a funny story how this also my sister with the whole thing with with the loss of my brother-in-law, right? It's okay, and everything. These things happen all the time. So we went to New York City for our wedding anniversary,
Right.
and went to wedding to the for the wedding anniversary. And so we were in New York, and my wife says, "Yeah, I want to go see the Book of Mormon." So okay. So it's 10:30 at night. I'm on the phone trying to get tickets, create in the hotel room. So we get to the Book of Mormon. Got to the show the next day. Went to the Book of Mormon. I'm a curious individual, so I went down to the orchestra pit, and there's a guy sitting down there, and he's playing the bass guitar. And I really love the technique of an instrument where I use all four fingers when I took lessons. Right, a lot of great guitarists only use the three fingers. That's their thing, right? But I looked
Right.
at him and I jumped over. I jumped over and I said, "Hey, you got some great technique down there." And she said, "Thanks." We were just kind of yelling at each other, and then the show started. So we're outside the stage door, and sure enough, he comes out the stage door. And I said, "Hey, I'm Ty Warner." And so we started connecting. And his name is Brian Crook.
Okay.
And Brian Crook has written his catalog and his pedigree, similar to what you've done, is off the charts. And so we just struck up a friendship. And that for those that are listening out there that are new to the game or whatever you want to call it, the industry, it's all about relationships.
Yeah.
And then I texted him. I got his number right there. You're always nervous about trying to get a number, right? Because you don't want to babble it or bumble it or whatever, right?
Right.
Because you don't want to waste their time. But this guy's played over 7,000 shows on Broadway. He did Back to the Future. He did the Back to the Future the musical. He scored all that or some of it. And anyways, I called him and I said, "Would you want to produce this song? This is not goodbye."
Yeah.
And and he produced it. Not only to produce it, but one of the string players on his on the recording was a woman that played with Post Malone. I mean, this guy is just he is legit. So Olivia Francis, the vocalist and co-writer, we went up to New York and recorded it with him, and we got another one in the can for him that's coming up shortly. So, anyways, this is just the industry, man. This is how it works. It's just
Oh
that's
yeah.
what I love about it. In other words, you know when your mortgage is due, you know when your car payments due, you know when your taxes are due. But in the music industry, I just throw everything up on the wall and see what's going to stick.
Yep. And a lot of
You know?
people still do that. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
It,
crazy. Yeah,
I think that's what's funny. I think uh, Julie told me one time, I say, it's crazy too much. And I told her, I said, it's the music industry. It really is crazy.
it's crazy.
Because
It's
you don't,
crazy.
I mean, you can write a song and you got a good feeling that this is a good song.
Yeah,
And you can cut it and you can put it out there.
yeah,
According to the masses that's listening to it, it's either going to bomb for whatever reason you have no idea,
yeah,
or it's going to go straight on up to number one and ride the charts for 10 weeks.
yeah. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah,
It's just crazy how it works.
it is. It's a whole. It's a whole. That's what I mean. It's so undefined.
Mm,
So undefined. It's but it's that it's the business, and we all start out with a spark and follow that spark, and that's kind of what it comes down to, and that leads back to what we just discussed about all the different facets of what you have to be now to be a success.
oh, yeah.
Just the writing and the playing. Just the writing and the playing, and those kind of things are just a minuscule part of the equation as opposed to everything else you need to do, the cover art, the distro, it's crazy, just crazy. So
Well, I mean,
anyways,
you got to hand it to Distro for coming up with what they did and becoming
yeah,
Distro Kid, because they've helped out a lot of people.
yeah, they have. And you are, I'm not giving you, I hope I'm not dominating our conversation, because I know you have a lot to offer too. So if I'm way too over the top with what we're discussing, please let me know. And if you want to jump in, I mean,
Oh, no, because this is the way this show's designed. This is
yeah,
your show.
okay,
My name may be on it, but it's your show. This is about you, accomplishments, things that you've done, things that you want to do.
yeah, yeah,
And that's how I created the show, because it's all about the artist.
right. I just want to throw out a couple of different what I call situational awareness of a couple of great opportunities, and one of them, of course, is Wall of Fame Entertainment,
Yeah.
which I was lucky enough to be part of, and I met those people through another organization that I belong to, and that's called Helping Our Music Evolve. And I'm not sure how connected you are in knowing about them. If not, I'll send you their links.
Yeah.
Uh, and Helping Our Music Evolve is a organization in Nashville, Tennessee. They're in East Nashville, and they are I call them like a musical fitness center. And you go in there, and yeah, I do, because you walk in and there you've got you got two studios, you got writing rooms, you've just got a whole communal group of people that want to encourage each other, and they're all different kind of music too. It's not just
Right.
country, not country. Our daughter calls it country, not
Mm.
country, country. So yeah, that's kind of so I belong to those two things, and then uh it started out with NSAI. That's where it started with me, was with Nashville Songwriters Association International, which
Mm.
was a great organization too. And I'm a chapter coordinator for them, but I'm really kind of on the tail end of being a coordinator as opposed to being a member, because I think that's set for certain things. I can only speak for myself, right?
Right.
And so that's where I met Olivia Francis, who's our vocalist and a co-writer, and I am what I would refer to as her operations officer for a lot of things she did. She just came out and did a great show out here for Fridays on the Plaza, and she opened for Dea, who's a huge Grammy winner, and so it kind of worked with her. And then from her, she was a gatekeeper to home, and then from home, I met Daniel from Wall of Fame, and then the Durango Song Expo. I'll tell you right now, if you want in any way, for anybody that wants to know anything about what we're talking about, I'm 100% behind having them shoot me an email or something, because I can definitely help them in any capacity that they'd want.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'm sure available.
Yeah, I was at a VA disability seminar once for disability, for things that go on in the military, and the guy that was running it, he said, and I quote, "Well, I've made every mistake possible in filing for my disability, so I made a lot of mistakes too. So I'd be glad to share them to make sure that we can move forward, because I'm all about paying it back. I'm all about it's whoever I bring with me on the journey. That's one of the things that I'm keen on as of late, and that's kind of how I feel about things. Yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, because I mean, it's like we were talking about earlier. It's like, and today, a lot of people have got the horse blinders on. They just, back in when I was growing up, it was, you helped each other, you talked to people, complete strangers. You could have a conversation with them. You stop and talk, My mom always made a joke that I could argue with a stop sign. But my dad, I learned it from my dad, because my dad, we used to hate if he got out the car, Get out of the car, go in the store, because we know we're going to be 10, 15 minutes before he comes back to the car.
I love that. Yeah.
Because he'd be in there talking to somebody.
Yeah. What part of Nashville do you live in right now?
I'm actually 32 miles north in Portland, Tennessee.
Portland. Okay, so take me up
up 65 north.
Yeah.
I'm the last exit before you get to Kentucky.
You are. So you're past Clarksville then? You're past Fort Campbell?
No, Clarksville is out 24.
Oh, 24. Okay.
Yeah, I'm north on 65. Clarksville is west on 24, exits 1 through 7, I believe.
I see. Okay.
Up that way. And then you get into Fort Campbell and all that other stuff up there.
That's off 24?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been up 65, played couple shows in Kentucky, and Owensboro, and Warsaw, and Lexington. And it's just, when I sit, like, I just got through with the Durango Song Expo, and the Durango Song Expo it's one of those seminars. There's a ton, South by Southwest, there's a bunch of them, and the category of artistry is in that level. There's probably 200 people there. It's very intimate. It's great, and you don't know, but the level of artistry and what is going to make those people, what's going to happen to them? What are the goals? You want things I think about, that when we're talking about trying to put it all together, and the industry, and it's just amazing. And then Kentucky and all those, there's just great music everywhere. It's just who's going to make the step to get to the next level. That's what it comes down to.
Well, I mean, it blows me away, the level of how many talented people are actually out there.
Unbelievable. It's mind-boggling. Somebody said that 75,000 songs are uploaded on Spotify a day. Is that true? Something like that? I can look it up right now.
I couldn't tell you, but I'm willing to bet it's a lot.
It's a lot, but but you still gotta play by that game. You still got to play
Yeah.
that game. You still
Yeah.
got to play by those rules. I don't think. I mean, Spotify is just part of the equation, but I just want to. I think myself personally that people may be over pouring themselves over indulging in the idea of Spotify or Apple or whatever when really it's. I mean, some artists. I'm a big fan of the industry too, right? I'm a big fan of it. And the Beatles made tons of money touring.
Right.
Glenn Campbell said he made tons of money touring. He said touring or studio work was more than what he made. And, that's where the cabbage really. Our daughter calls money cabbage, by the way. So
Yeah.
that's where the cabbage comes from. I mean, but yet we just keep grinding away. And you just got to keep the grind. That's what I think. So
Yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah,
you got to keep coming up with newer music, and you've got to keep touring.
yeah,
If you can keep a happy median where everything just keeps circling, like you're blending up the cabbage.
yeah.
Exactly
You
what it is.
you you brought up something that is very important in the military, and it's about balance.
Yeah.
And keeping balance, mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional. All those four components have to be in place. And when one of those components comes out of place for me, I can feel it and I know it.
Right.
And so you just serendipitously stumbled on it when you said the happy would you say the happy medium or whatever it was. But yeah, that's definitely true, because I think the thing that's one of the most challenging is being married to someone that is putting up with this.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on,
I mean,
so yeah,
I've been divorced 3 times, and I'm not much for advice in that area.
yeah,
But the one thing that I feel is you've got to be with somebody that complements who you are,
well
and
said.
you compliment them.
Well said. Well, I can tell you that not only does my wife qualify, not only is my wife going to heaven, she's going to heaven, but she's also going to qualify for sainthood for being married to me. I will tell you that right here and right now because
And
it's just, yeah.
it's on record now. You know that, right?
I got to text this woman. She was a lieutenant commander. Lieutenant Colonel Sharon Hughes. She was a squadron commander for me. She said that one time about my wife, just knowing me for whatever reason. She said I've never forgotten it. So, but anyways, that's kind of what I think about it. But yeah, to go out the door, to go wherever you're going, and then do whatever we do. Like you're going in your room and you're saying in your studio, and you go, okay, I got time for another podcast.
Yeah.
Everything's going to stop. Yeah, boom, it's going to stop. So, anyways, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's.
I don't know. I mean,
when you're doing a show, do you think about? Go ahead.
I did a thing Saturday where we took part of the studio out, and I set up at the Palace Theater. Yeah, Palace Theater in Gallatin. And I think I did like 9 or 10 shows up there.
Gosh.
Come back home, set everything back up, and then I did a show Tuesday, actually with one of Dan's girls, Kate Kristen.
Yeah, Kate. She's great. Yep.
Yeah, I had her on, and then I did 2 podcasts today, including yours.
Yep.
And the rest of the month is filled up with all kinds of stuff all around podcasting.
Well, let's see if we can get you that salute to service. Let's kind of get you in that hopper so you can come down and see that show or something if you have time. Yeah.
Oh, I would love to. I mean, even if it's just to come hang out and shake some hands and.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah,
it'd be fantastic.
I'll bug Dan about it.
Yeah, I'll send you like I said, I'll send you all the info for it and take it from there. And you might want to come over to home too and do a podcast out of home, helping our music evolve in East Nashville. You might want to do that too. I met a guy at Durango who produced I'm a Veteran. He actually mastered and mixed it. He owns Casey Music Group. He gets amazing placements. He's a
Right.
placement guy, he's a sync guy. He's a bass player. But when I met him, this is, I mean, someone like you, just so approachable. Durango's so approachable people. And I said, I connected him with Daniel and excuse me, I connected him with Logan Crowell and Banks and another, the president and deputy. And we had him come over and do a critique of songs, people
Yeah.
pitch their songs, he gave me feedback. So yeah, I think you'd be great for just doing a podcast with some artists or something. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just, trying to put one foot in front of the other here. But again, I'm trying to gatekeep here.
I don't think you want me to critique songs because I have no filter.
No. You need somebody with no filter once in a while. I mean, come on,
It's
what I'm saying is you could do a podcast with a couple of artists maybe from there if you ever got down there. It'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of my biggest things about doing the show and doing podcast is you definitely got to have talent.
Yeah.
And you definitely got to have some good songs.
Yeah, you do. And you got to believe. That's the thing, is to believe in yourself, right? You believed what you were you believed in yourself that you were going to get this puppy off the ground, and look where you are now. That's just amazing.
Yeah.
How many shows you done?
Oh God.
2000?
No, well, you got to remember the show's only 2 years old.
I see.
I'll start my third season this December. And I think I've probably got, when I get done in December, I will probably have over 200 shows.
That's amazing. It's just amazing.
And every one of them have either been here or out on location.
Yeah.
We did CMA Fest. I had 48 different artists from CMA Fest.
Oh my goodness gracious.
And the CMA people invited me to put in for the press credentials, which you got to get because they do background check. They do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And they want me to be a part of the, hopefully be a part of the CMA award show this year.
I can't see. I would be very surprised if it didn't happen.
I'm one of those guys. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I get that too sometimes, but you believe.
Yeah. Mama always told me don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Yeah, I get it. But you still got to believe, Still got to believe.
You got to believe, but you also got to have it in you to have that drive.
Yeah, you do. And you do.
You're not going to sit on your butt watching TV, playing video games, and make something happen in your life.
You don't know how close you are to the way I feel half the time, because I'm fully transitioned out of the workforce. Could I be going to we call it the commissary, right? The grocery store, right. Commissary, could I be going to the commissary? And I thought about that the other day. Should I just be with my wife and driving around and, just going to, I don't know, Santa Fe, New Mexico, and, being a retiree or whatever, but that's just not how I'm wired. And her main focus is our grandchildren. That's her main focus, those beautiful grandchildren. And she wants to be around that and see those things develop. And so it's kind of obviously the balance is working, but yeah, you got to drive. Yeah, we're not going to sit around, even though it's big in sports right now. I mean, you've got baseball, you got basketball just started, you got hockey, and then you've got football. So always a lot going on.
Well, I mean,
but anyways,
you could throw her in the car and go down and see the Alamo.
Yeah, I could, but in the back of our minds, we'd be thinking about, but I got to do this. I got to send this email out. It's just how it works, Well,
I'm at the day job,
which
I'm very fortunate. I do my day job and I'm moving trailers around on the yard and everything else, but that thing never stops going off.
Right. Right.
whether it's
Right.
emails about the show or, one of the girls, a part of my team or something contacted me. Hey, what about this? What about that?
Yeah.
It's just, it gets crazy.
It gets
Uh,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
yeah.
But
Arliss
it's a
Walker
beautiful.
left a comment. He said, money is definitely on the road these days.
He said that.
Arliss Walker.
Yeah.
And he totally agrees with us on that. And then he said, congratulations. Not sure what for, but thank you, Arliss. Pamela
Sure.
Potts Arnell, she's a real good friend of mine and a friend of the show. She works with veterans a lot, helping them with the PTSD, the
Yeah.
triggers, uh, and she does it for no money, dude.
Yeah.
She's there for these people,
Yeah.
and she wanted me to let you know. She said, "Thank you for your service," and that her husband was a veteran.
Yeah. Well, connect us up and see how we can try to make something happen. I just want to make sure that we reach as much maximum global exposure with this particular song as we can make it happen. Because it's similar to the "I'm an American Soldier." It's similar to those kind of anthems. So
Right.
I hope we can. I hope it. We can take it to the top. Uh,
Oh, I hope so too. I mean, it's. I think that's one thing that honestly, I don't think on this. I pretty much know a lot of the things when the veterans get out of the service or they're coming back home or things that they do, not being appreciated.
yeah. 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 And well, give me an example. What do you think? You just think that's out there?
I think a lot of it is they don't feel appreciated for the sacrifices they have endured,
Yeah. Yeah.
not seeing their family, not seeing this, uh, you're not getting rich in the military. So you're kind of doing it for the love of who you are and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I think a lot of
Yeah.
people, it's, that's why soldiers, they get a twinkle in their eye when you just look at them and say, appreciate your service.
Yeah, there's a I mean there's a I do believe that you're onto something in a way because there are all these great organizations we have, right? VFW, Veterans
Hmm.
Foreign War, American Legion. They are really sort of falling into the abyss membership wise. They're
Yeah.
not where they were. They're not the same level of dynamic that, like you said, the previous campaigns and such. So,
Right.
um, but yeah, it's our responsibility to just do what we're supposed to do, and if we get any recognition for it, that's great too. But if not, well, we raised our hand and we did what we did, and we did it because that was that was our code. That was
Right.
our oath. So that's kind of what we're about. You know, but
Yeah. And I
yeah,
love that. I mean, it's, like I said, I was never in the service, but I've had countless longtime friends that were veterans.
yeah,
And some of the stubbornest, hard headedest guys you ever met in your life, but the camaraderie and tell you like it is,
yeah.
those guys were there.
I've been very fortunate because of the music that I've had, and always having an ensemble, having a band, right?
Right.
That I will say that I mean I played for Secretary of the Air Force, Secretary of Defense, um, played for the Chief of Staff of the Air Force, uh, and so those big hit we call them DVs, distinguished visitors, right?
Right.
I've had a lot of those shows, but I'll say also the whole military community, because it's the only game in town wherever we are are the most appreciative audience for the presentation that we give, no matter where we
Oh,
are,
yeah.
no matter where we've been. I've always had, when I've traveled, when I've been in Turkey, or whether I've been in Germany or been in Korea, playing in bands, just pick up bands, little bands. And the joke was, we always pick up bands, and we never play a song in the band that has more chords in it than the number of people in the band. Like Stand By Me, right?
Oh yeah.
Four chords, right? Keep Your Hands to Yourself, 3 chords. Yeah, all those Country Roads, 4 chords. Because the overseas crowd is more of a pub-based sing-along crowd as opposed to the
Yeah.
American crowd, in terms of how it goes. But yeah, they just always been so appreciative, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
one thing I'm always going to take with me wherever I go, is that I know that Luxembourg and yeah, it's just been great. It's been a great run, and for you and I, our best days are still ahead of us.
I certainly hope so.
I know so. I know so. And meeting you through Daniel has been an absolute pleasure, and just, a great connection together.
Well, it doesn't mean I'm still not going to slap him upside the back of the head every now and then.
Yeah, just get in line. Just get in line.
Wake him up.
Just get in line. Yeah, he's an incredibly generous, and Kate's beautiful lady too, and that whole team, and
Yeah.
just tagging on Wall of Fame. Yeah, we've got some artists. We've got a Jordan Roberts. We've got High Rise Hooligan. We've got uh, Patrick Sisk, who's a comedian. We've got a stable of people. I would encourage you to go to the web, our listeners to go to the website and see what our roster looks like, uh, and we want to build this. And as I said, be the benchmark of talent, because
Yeah.
that's what we do. Yeah, and I'm just lucky to be part of that. So who knows
Yeah.
what's coming.
And Riley was a hoot. I had her on.
Riley. Riley is just a gem of a quiet, beautiful artist, who just has amazing songs.
And she brought me chocolate cake.
Yeah, well, I can do that virtually. So let me.
She brought chocolate cake up here. She came up here with Kate.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we had a show and hung out, and that show will actually drop next Wednesday at 6:00.
Sweetness.
And
Yeah.
I've just I had the most fun sitting and talking to those two young ladies.
Yeah, they're just great. They're just
Fantastic.
grinders. Yeah. And it's all about doing what they do. And Riley's humble. They both got their own lanes they're traveling, and just happy to be a part of it. So yeah.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see where they go.
Yeah,
And
me too.
I can't wait to see where some of your songs are going.
Thank you, David. Yeah, I just throw it out there and see, like we said, throw it out there and see what sticks, That's amore. So
That's
I
what
don't
we're
know.
gonna do. It's kind of like I don't know if you remember the movie or not, but now I can't even remember the name of the movie. Had Cher in it. Moonstruck. That was the name of it.
Yeah.
Remember? It was
I'll tell you a story when you're done with that story.
It was like 30 years in the making, but he finally sees Cosmo's moon again.
Yeah.
So it all comes back around.
What comes back around is you saying that, because my nephew was in that movie
Awesome.
as a little Bambini child actor.
Yeah.
Justin March is the name back. I mean, you're talking that is just you can't describe friends forever now.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's like I tell everybody else. It's amazing how much useless knowledge is up there. And I just pop it out every now and then. Just something just catches me, and something will reflect or something, and I'll pop it out.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what it is. And I've been reading this book about it, and I'm not learned like that, but it's a God wink. God winks at you. God does things, right? He does things. And we talked about that, what we can talk about. And those are just those winks that you're talking about, a movie that my nephew was in, and we don't even know each other.
Yeah,
But,
that's
but
wild.
you know that you just can't make that stuff up. The other thing, humorous wise, is that I don't know what it is, and is that my whole life is like a comedy Seinfeld skit. No matter what, no matter where I'm or what's happening, there's always some crazy thing going on.
Oh yeah,
That's kind of what it's like too. I'll share with you some other stories on our next visit. But anyways, yeah, it
yeah.
works.
It's crazy. It's
Yeah,
life. You gotta
it's
love it.
life. Yeah, yeah.
Because I mean, I'll be honest with you. I thought about quitting this beast that I've created several times, but it always was like God was kicking me in the back of the head, pointing at a new direction.
That's your spark. That's how you're wired. That's why you won't, because you can't. You can't. You can't
No,
give it up. You'll try to give it up, but in the back of your mind, that's the spark. That's your
yeah,
spark. My wife, educationally, she's an educator, right? She uh, is revered globally for her um, child development expertise, subject matter expertise, and
right,
with either child development or home daycare or youth programs, right? But she
right,
says what happens is, why do we do what we do? Why do I follow that? What I do, it's my spark. We may have day jobs that we do, but it's really the spark that follows where we follow. And
right.
along with that spark comes the balance to make sure that everything's in check so you can pursue it. Because if you pour it all in, then it's gonna take its toll in another category, no doubt about it.
Awesome. I
Yeah,
totally agree with that.
yeah, that's what I think. So,
You know,
but
and
anyways, I'm
everybody needs that spark.
Yeah, and you've got your spark. You can't. Yeah, you thought about quitting, but you won't quit because that's not how you're wired. You don't want to quit. It's fortitude. You're going to keep going.
Yeah.
And that's all
Well,
we do.
I've said more than once that wherever this lane takes me, I'm going to see it all the way through to the end.
To the end. To the end. Yeah. Yeah.
I owe it
Yeah.
to,
Yeah. You owe it to yourself.
yeah,
Well, what I say is when you say that is that we're very fond of the military of saying there is no I in team. It's always we, right? So
yeah.
I just hope that if you ever needed me for anything to get you to where you want to go, that you wouldn't think twice about letting me know.
I will definitely put you on the radar for all of it
Yep. Yep. For
because
sure.
I've got, you know, I can't turn ideas off.
Right. You're in
And,
bed. You're in bed. Right? Yeah. You're wide awake. Those
and
Facebook, Instagram jokes.
yeah, and I have ideas all the time pop up, and well, what if you done this or what if you done that, and who are you helping, you know,
Yeah.
and that's where I get to come full circle is I just really believe when society first started and everything was going, it wasn't about me. It was about helping everybody else.
Yeah.
Because I remember a day where if you was successful and I was your friend, I would be standing beside you, rooting you on,
Yeah.
and very,
Beautiful.
very proud of what my friend had accomplished.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now people get mad about it or they don't like it or must be nice.
Yeah. Tommy Barnes, going back to Tommy, and that guy, there's a trend now when you see award shows, right?
Right.
And then they'll say things like, "I'd like to introduce my good buddy David. I'd like to introduce a friend of mine, But he says the way it should be phrased is, "I'd like to introduce somebody that I'm proud to say calls me their friend, and that is
Right.
David." That's the way. That's the spin that
Yeah.
makes him who he is, and I've adopted that to a point. Yeah,
Yeah.
I try to. Yeah.
And well, I mean, I've actually referred to a lot of people that I considered friend as that have helped me and pushed me with the podcast and everything else. A really good friend of the show.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. What an amazing story. All right.
I need a
I'm
lot
coming
of it.
over tomorrow. I'm coming over tomorrow.
Hey, Dan knows how to get here because he sat in my living room a couple of times.
He's the greatest.
Yeah.
Yes. And Kate too. Yeah, their beautiful child. So
She's
yeah,
a hoot.
yeah, she's a hoot. All right, she's just yeah. It's just this little consortium of people, and we'll just see where it goes, and that's where we're throwing our weight behind it. And um, yeah, yeah, we've got two lanes. We got the release, and then everything behind the release, and then the Sky Deck show, and then all the different peripherals that go along with that. But yeah, that's
Yep.
where we.
Yeah, I'll get with you and Dan and see what all I can do to be a part of helping out and being a part of it.
Looking forward to it.
All right. Todd, tell everybody where they can find anything and everything about you.
Well, thank you, David. So, first of all, I want everybody to know where to find you and your team, so your show.
I'm
And then,
easy.
yeah, and then for me, it's going to be if you go to the website, if you go to tywarnerglobal.com, then you'll find all the links there in the email sign up listing, tywarnerglobal.com, and then Ty Warner Global on Facebook, and then Ty Warner Global on Instagram, and that's where you can find most of our streaming platform media. As I said, the other side of the coin is just if you need to get in touch with me, just send me an email through there and give me your phone number, and I'll be glad to connect with you and try to get you through the journey as well.
Awesome. Love it. And everybody can find me at www.thedavidbradleyshow. All the links are there. Everything is right there.
Thank you so much, David.
I appreciate you, Ty, for being on. And we'll talk.
We're going to talk. We're going to talk. And we're going to get some chocolate cake, too, somewhere at a bakery. I guarantee it.
Hey, I tell you what, Riley, that chocolate cake. Have you ever had chocolate cake that was like just the perfect consistency, the perfect moisture, oh my God.
I have. I have. Yeah, I have.
So,
All right.
I mean, and I got to give her a shout out. Riley, that cake was
2
thumbs up. Awesome. Loved it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll text her right now and say I'm going to text you and her and say, why didn't I get any cake? I mean, so anyways, all right, man. I'll catch you on the flip.
All right, Ty. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we'll see you. Bye bye. All right, everybody. Now, everybody, please check out Ty Warner, tywarnerglobal.com, Facebook, everything else. Y'all check the man out. He's got some really good tunes. I love the drive that he's got with it and everything else, and it's awesome. And I love meeting new friends. So this is great. I think it's awesome as y'all get out. Yeah, Pam, Julie cooks and bakes really good too. Yes, we all know that. Henceforth, the 2 Christmas shows we had last year. Oh, look, Julie commented. Thank you, Pam. And like Ty said, I do really appreciate the team that I have come to meet, and they have helped me out with this show so much. And I appreciate everybody out there that watches and puts up with listening to me and this little endeavor that I'm on. I think it's cool as all get out. We'll go on. I'm sorry, I'm reading comments. I kind of like the Facebook stuff. I kind of like the YouTube stuff too. So, y'all let me know what you're thinking, how you're liking the Facebook lives and the YouTube lives and stuff that's going on. That way I know exactly how y'all like watching this content and all the crazy stuff that I'm doing. We're going to get off here. I appreciate everybody. And my producer's not here, so we're going to do this. Although we are doing a shout out to Caitlin. She actually does a really good job. Like, share, follow, and subscribe. Let's see, where's that? There it is. There it is. There it is. Follow that right there. Like, share, follow, and subscribe, especially on YouTube and everything else. People, you got to get the numbers up on your artists that you like, the podcast you like, whether it's me or somebody else. Remember, it's a numbers game. Everybody wants to know how many followers, how many subscribers. It helps podcasters get artists. It helps artists get booked on your local, closer to you, so you can see that artist. You can have the meet and greet. You can listen to a good live show. You can take your picture with the artist. And like I always say, and I've got to get a t-shirt made, like, share, follow, and subscribe. It helps us all. It's a digital world. All right, getting off here. I appreciate it, everybody. Love you. Mean it. Toodaloo.